Congressman Kevin Brady, the brains behind the big tax cuts that you could argue really helped spear that big household net worth formation. Congressman, great to have you. We're talking about American sense of personal wealth, and a lot of it comes back to the markets, to the tax cuts, to a lot of things. You can play politics with this. The fact of the matter is, you had a key role in building that up, and now you have the Biden administration trying to rip up a good part of it. What do you make of its chances, particularly in Build Back Better, to dial some of that back?
Yeah, so I worry. Neil, it's good to see you, by the way. So there should be a worry about this. Look, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, we saw in 2019 sort of the full impact. What would it do in our economy? What we saw that year was household income for a family grew more in 1 year than in all 8 years of the Obama-Biden administration. Big surge that way. We lifted millions of people out of poverty because there were good jobs and rising paychecks. And for the first time in half a century, you saw income inequality begin to shrink. And there was a chance President Trump would have ended his first term having achieved a reduction in income inequality. My worry, I think everyone's here, is that leveling these taxes on job creators, creating incentives in the Build Back Better for people to exit the workforce, which they do through the child tax credit, and then really sort of punishing investment here in the U.S. through some of those international changes. I think you worsen the ability of average Americans, both upward mobility, getting the best purchasing power for their paycheck. I worry they're going to reverse many of the key, I think, elements of progress that we made in tax reform.
I look at it through the prism, oftentimes, Congressman, you and I discuss through the markets, and if the markets are worried about any of the things you mentioned, they're not showing it. Now, maybe that's because they don't think certainly Build Back Better is going to happen. You're there, and I'm just curious, when you talk to your Democratic colleagues, do they have the support for this? I mean, and do they see this happening in the Senate?
Yeah, so I think every good question, we're not inside those rooms. I think there's a sense that every day this goes on, it is in more jeopardy. I think they still feel right now that even early in January that this could be accomplished in the Senate. I think there's a worry if it drags into February or longer, less so. And there is also, too, I think in the Senate, what I've noticed is a lot of these tax provisions are unvetted, and unproven. I think Senate Democrats are starting to get an earful about how things like this book minimum tax on corporations, how ham-handed it is. It actually discourages investment in the U.S. in new equipment, including renewable technologies is all. So I think what I'm hearing is Senate Democrats are learning a lot more about the damaging impacts of these taxes. So we may see them start to understand this is the wrong policy at the wrong time.
I just got a personal question, Congressman.
Yes,
you might be missing a chance to once again chair a committee, to be a power broker, as you already are, even in the minority, by opting out of running for re-election. Would you ever change your mind?
Thank you for asking, but no. Look, I do love my job, Neil. I love who I work with. I'm really optimistic about where our country can go. But it is time for me. I've loved this. And also, as you know, we have in the House.
They've been telling me this for 25 years at Fox. Maybe Neil, hang it up, and I refuse to. But I'm just wondering.
Well, good for you.
Where are you on this? You just had it with just the whole craziness there.
Look, not so. I love this job.
Put words in your mouth. That's all.
No, there's not. And the other thing, too, is, as you know, in the House, we have term limits on our chairman, our committee leadership, and I've run up into mine. And I think overall, this is a good thing. I think it brings fresh blood. And here's the good news. I think great news. We have a really deep bench of talented people among the Ways and Means. So
people tell me that in my business, fresh blood. It's overwrought and overused, Congressman. But where do you do after this? Where do you go?
Yes, so I don't know yet. I want to get this tax fight behind me before I start thinking about it. But I'm excited about the new adventure, whatever it is.
I have no doubt you'll have great success at it. Congressman Kevin Brady, the beautiful state of Texas, House Ways and Means Committee, the chairman who made it all possible. I said this, so he gets tired of hearing it all the time, but those tax cuts simply would not have happened without him. He laid the groundwork and kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and now he's leaving. So I don't know what's going on there, but Kevin Ray, you're going to tell us the real skinny one of these days.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. All right, I want to leave you right